Ohio. Maldives, the capital of the Republic of Maldives and also the largest settlement of the archipelago, is among the most densely populated cities of the world. The square of Maldives makes 6.8 km. Population according to the estimated data published in September 2014, 133,019 people. The city is located on the southern coast of the atoll Northern Maldives, which is a part of the atoll of Corfu. In the administrative territorial relation is located on 4 islands. Central, the island in the territory of which there is an airport, and 2 more islands. Political life of the city is under authority of City Council. From the moment of education on the Maldives of a sultanate in 1153 in the territory of Maldives, authorities including the sultan were located. In the 9th-12th centuries I carried the name I waved, formed as a result of simplification of a phrase Mahaldvipa or Malaldvip, the island of the sultan. In the period of the Middle Ages the city was enclosed with a fortification in which certain place there were gate. Also in Maldives different fortification constructions, including bastions, destroyed as a result of overthrow of the monarchy by order of the President Ibrahim Nasser in the early 70s were built. However, to the Friday Mosque of damage it is put wasn't at all. Now the square of the city is considerably expanded in connection with soil dumping implementation. Within centuries in the territory of Maldives there were protest actions and events of epoch-making value. The name from an Indo-European basis of Maldives be allocated in a relief tower grow. Maldives is located in a zone of monsoonal climate with pronounced the rainy season which is beginning in May and coming to an end in December, and a dry season which duration is 4 months. Despite finding of Maldives in a zone of monsoonal climate, temperature indicators in the city on the most part within a year are constant that corresponds to temperature indicators, peculiar settlements located in a zone of the equatorial climate. So the average maximum makes 30 C, an average at least 26 C. Quantity of annually dropping out rainfall on average minus 1901. Six quarters are a part of Maldives, 4 of which it is located on the atoll Northern Maldives. To Muffin, in his northwest part. To Henvair, in northeast. Galolu, in southern. And Nachengoli. The 5th Villa Maldives, on the nearby atoll of Vilingli, serving in due time as the place of stay of prisoners, subsequently the resort. The 6th Hulu Maldives, on of the same name, the artificial island occupied in 2004. In the territory of the quarter of Hulul there is an international airport of Ibrahim Nasser. In 2008 realization of melioration of a reef began Babel to the line. The atoll Northern Maldives is included into the 5 of the most densely populated land areas from all directions surrounded with water in the world and takes among them the 168th place on population. Due to the full isolation of the city by the world ocean, all enterprises are located directly in his territory. So, the water used by the population shakes from the wells which are at a depth of 50-60 m and contains quite big % of rigidity in the initial state, however subsequently is exposed to desalting by means of a reverse osmosis. The electric power is developed by diesel power plants. Dumping of the crude sewage is made directly to the ocean. Solid waste is transported on nearby atolls and utilized in local coastal lakes. On place of this sort of a dump, the airport and also the artificial island of Tilafushi appeared subsequently. The most part of public institutions, it is located in a coastal strip of the city. Besides the airport, on the island of Hilo located near Mail there is a seadrome, the seaplanes which are deployed on which are used in the industrial purposes. In city port the project of recultivation of lands is implemented. The Maldives were populated in the 4th or 4th centuries BB century AD with natives from the peninsula of Hindustan and the island Ceylon of Dravidama. As a result of carrying out comparative researches, it is established that Dravida since the most ancient times had a huge impact on formation of Dividi, ways of pronunciation and cultural traditions of Dividi. So, representatives of the people to a Giravar, living on of the same name the island. Now the resort. And subsequently as a result of pressure left him, represent lineal descendants of the Tamils who occupied islands in the ancient time. According to the bringing, fishermen to a Giravar after successful catching sailed on a shallow in the southernmost tip of the island and undressed the caught tunas there. Owing to allocation of a large amount of blood as a result of a razalivana of fish of water were painted in red color. Malay ganda, literally big blood. Of course, primitive political functions among the first settlers including to a Giravar, were assigned to leaders. According to the story about Koimel, which part is given by the Hirdalam tour in the book Maldivian Riddle. Very long time ago, when Maldives were still a little inhabited, one prince from a royal sort by the name of Komalakolo, married to the daughter of the Ceylon king, went with her to a voyage by 2 ships from the island Serendip. Having reached Maldives, they got to a calm and sometimes stood at the island of Rasatimu in the atoll northern Malkasmadulu. Having learned that 2 most notable guests belonged to the Ceylon royal sort, Maldivites suggested them to remain and eventually proclaimed Komala the king to Rastam, actually the royal island a lump. 1. Is later than Komal and his spouse moved to Mail. And located with the consent of natives there the islands of Giravara, which then made the main community of the atoll of Mail. According to the legend, then Komala planted on a shallow the first tree, a papaya. However, so in ancient and modern Devihi writing of the words, papaya and fruit coincides. Follow. It is possible that the prince could plant absolutely other tree. He built the palace and called the atoll of Mala Mail, and the island adjacent to him Hulula. Names the local fishermen gave to the largest 4 quarters of Mail a Giravara. So, the word Mafanu is formed from an adjective Maya, beak, and a noun to the fan. The termination of the footpath conducting from the small village to the sea. Henbeir from Enbeira. The place in which the fishermen, having fastened a bait on a hook, threw a rod. Pilolu from Galaolu. A stone niche. And Machengoli from a Matiangola. A fork in the windward side. In the 16th century Portuguese founded on the atoll northern Mail a trade post which territory was a part of the city now. The basis of the economy of Maldives in general and Mail in particular makes tourism, to which share 28% of GDP and more than 60% of currency receipts fall. GDP volume was increased per capita in the 1988 years by 265%, in the 1990s for 115%. Over 90% of money come to Treasury as a result of collection of preferential duties and also duties from tourists. In the territory of the capital of the Maldives of Male there is a large number of tourist attractions and entertaining and recreational complexes. Also in the city the central harbour and port are located, there is different implementation of offers. In Male the headquarters of the Maldivian Airlines Maldivian and Villa Air is based. Local governments are presented by the City Council formed in 2011 on coming into force of the law on decentralization of the power. Names of the politicians who entered into City Council were the same year announced. In the territory of the city 11 constituencies which are under authority of a certain Dick of City Council are located. The most part of current advisors was elected in council from Maldives Democratic Party as a result of the elections held in 2014. Also far. Write comments. Read comments. Interesting people will tell interesting stories. All of good mood and good luck.